Welcome back to Wellness by Nature, where we explore simple ways to improve your health and well-being, one step at a time. I'm Barbara Sage, here to help you make sense of the latest health topics and empower you to make choices that feel right for you. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been stirring up some curiosity and even a bit of controversy in the nutrition world: lectins in foods. You might have heard some buzz about lectins and how they are supposedly anti-nutrients or harmful, but what are lectins really, and should we actually be worried about them? That's what we'll unpack today, so stay tuned as we get to the bottom of it. Let's start by talking about what lectins are. Lectins are a type of protein found in many plant foods. Think beans, lentils, tomatoes, potatoes, and even whole grains. These proteins have a specific job. They help plants defend themselves from pests and diseases. In the plant world, they're kind of like a natural defense system, which is pretty impressive. But here's where it gets interesting for us humans. Lectins have the unique ability to bind to carbohydrates in our bodies, which can interfere with nutrient absorption if consumed in large amounts or if they're not prepared correctly. This is why they sometimes get labeled as anti-nutrients. However, the story doesn't end there. While some people suggest that lectins should be avoided altogether, the reality is a bit more nuanced. Now, why all the fuss about lectins? Well, a few years ago, some diet trends suggested that lectins might be harmful, causing digestive issues or even contributing to certain health conditions. While it's true that raw, unprocessed foods high in lectins, like kidney beans, can be tough on the digestive system or even toxic, the lectins in cooked or processed foods are a different story. Let's take kidney beans as an example. Raw kidney beans contain high levels of lectins that can cause severe digestive upset. But cooking them thoroughly, like boiling for at least 10 minutes, significantly reduces lectin levels, making them perfectly safe to eat. So the simple act of cooking is enough to eliminate most of the lectins that could potentially cause harm. And it's not just beans. Soaking, boiling, and even fermenting foods high in lectins can drastically reduce their levels. In fact, most traditional cooking methods, like soaking beans overnight before cooking, naturally remove lectins. This is a good reminder that traditional food prep methods can play a huge role in making plant foods easier on our systems. So, are lectins really the bad guys some people make them out to be? Not necessarily. Research shows that most people tolerate lectins just fine, especially when these foods are cooked. Plus, the very foods that contain lectins, like beans, tomatoes, and whole grains, are often rich in fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that are hugely beneficial to our health. Eating a diet that's varied and full of colourful plant-based foods has so many proven health benefits, from improving digestion to supporting heart health. But as with anything, there can be exceptions. Some people with certain digestive conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or autoimmune issues may find that high lectin foods don't sit well with them. In these cases, it's a good idea to experiment with how you prepare these foods or speak with a healthcare provider to see if reducing high lectin foods might make a difference. Now, what can we take away from all this? First, if you're eating a balanced diet and preparing your foods well, lectins aren't something most of us need to worry about. Basic cooking practices like soaking beans, boiling vegetables, or fermenting grains are usually enough to make these foods safe and nutritious. Secondly, it's about finding what works best for your body. If you feel that certain high lectin foods don't agree with you, you can try cutting back or preparing them in different ways. To wrap up, today we learned that lectins are naturally occurring proteins in many plant foods that serve as a defense mechanism for the plants. While they can interfere with digestion if consumed raw, proper cooking and preparation methods reduce their effects significantly. For most of us, there's no need to avoid lectins altogether. In fact, many lectin-containing foods are nutrient powerhouses that support our health in many ways. Thank you for joining me on Wellness by Nature today. I hope this episode helped clear up some confusion around lectins and empowered you to make food choices that feel right for you. If you found today's topic interesting, feel free to share it with friends or family who are curious about food trends and nutrition myths. Remember, small mindful choices can lead to big health benefits over time. Here's to enjoying all the nutritious goodness that whole foods bring us. Until next time, take care.